Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Inside Argos Soccer. I'm here with Phillip Ummel, class of '98, midfielder, 74 appearances, 45 goals, 28 assists, top 10 in both goals and assists in the program. Two-time, two-time first team all conference. Won the conference twice, won sectional twice, won regional, and then 1997 semi-state runner-up. Lost to Canterbury. I did too. Feel you there. It sucks. But yeah. And right before we dive in, just wanted to thank our sponsors, Beamer's Drive-In and American Engineering. Thank you guys for all the support. All right, Phil. When did you start playing soccer?
Almost from birth, really.
Yeah.
My dad moved to Argos when I was 1, and he had just graduated from law school, took a job in Plymouth, and was looking to find a place in the area. He had not really been to Marshall County before. He grew up mostly on the mission field in Brazil, and but his family was from Elkhart County area, so that's where they would furlough back to. And so he was familiar with northern Indiana. He went to Bethel College, but Marshall County was new for him, so he was just looking around for a place to live, and started doing some research and discovered Argos had a pretty good tradition at soccer at that time, which really nobody else had much of one, and that really drew him to the area. So when I was 1, we moved to town, and he started right away coaching a junior high soccer team, and I would go to every single practice, and I would be the little mascot on the sideline and be there for practice and do all my touches and stuff off to the side, and just love the game from the start.
Yeah, awesome. I was going to say, next one here is what started your love for the game, but kind of sounds like
Yeah, that would be it right there for sure.
Yeah. Did you have any Argus soccer heroes that you like to watch, like whether you were in junior high, elementary school, somebody you looked up to?
I feel like when I was in junior high, when we'd go to games, we would just be off to the side playing on our own. So as much as I don't want to diminish any of the guys on those teams, I don't know that I was paying a ton of attention during games at that point. Certainly when I was younger, I would. And a lot of the guys that my dad had coached, I would pay attention to. I think of Joe Stone was a guy who was just always, my dad had coached and was just always very kind and friendly with me. Jeff Odell, Corey Denny, always guys that just were very, very kind to myself and the rest of the guys on our team, and just really enjoyed watching us and were complimentary towards us. And so guys that I think about fondly of.
Yeah, that's awesome. Your youth teams had some great success in the old Hoosier State games. Can you describe how your team was succeeding and how it was playing that kind of soccer as you grew up?
Yeah, my dad put together all those teams when I was younger. So I watched your broadcast with Scott Bailey a few weeks back, and I know he had mentioned my dad quite a bit, Ted Ummel, and when he was done, he kind of coached, like I said, some of the junior high travel teams. His first several years he was in the area, but then really probably when I was kindergarten, first grade, just started coaching my team, and then by the time we were second, third grade, was putting together indoor teams for us, and then fourth, fifth grade, we're doing White River games, which turned into the Hoosier State games, and just really, really good experiences with really my closest friends. I mean, when you're in such a tight-knit community like Argos is, you just, you know everybody, and these are the kids that we go to school with and we play all the different sports with. And so we started bonding on the soccer field at a very young age. And my dad, like I said, grew up on the mission field in Brazil. So when he came, he had a kind of probably a little different perspective to the game of soccer and brought in a little more possession and a little more flair. I know Argos was very well known for being highly conditioned and just a lot of let's play long balls and let's just outrun teams. And my dad tried to really mix in a little more possession style play with that. And it was very successful for us. We had a lot of talented kids, and being able to grow up together, like I said, and play together. We knew each other's tendencies, and that really grew in those early travel games that we played, and had a lot of success and won a couple different state championships.
Right on. Now, kind of moving forward into your high school career, what made you most excited to play for your high school team?
I think just the tight knit community of Argus, just
Mm-hmm.
being aware of that name on your chest is something that you look forward to from a young age. Everybody in the community goes to games. You see the high school players play.
Right.
You look forward to that day that you get to be a high school student and can put on that jersey and go out and play on that field,
Mm-hmm.
and just something that you always dreamt of when you were younger, and then probably don't even fully appreciate until later in life when you look back on it and think of all the great memories and times. But certainly something that was very excited for growing up and thrilled to be part of.
Oh yeah, and somehow those are the quickest 4 years of your life.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, who were some of your teammates that you admired most that you played with, and why was that?
Oh man, we had a lot of really good players.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Scott Bailey was the one that everybody remembers because of the stats that he put up. I mean, just a
Right.
tremendous goal scorer up front for us. But Tom McFarland was always a partner of mine in the midfield. Eric Stoltz was really kind of a forward early on in his career, and then when we got to high school was moved back to the defensive line and still remains one of my closest friends to this day. Bill Redinger was a really solid defender for us. Brent Johnson was a goalkeeper that I think is probably one of the best in program history still. Those are kind of the main guys in my class. The class behind me was also really strong. Chris Kessler was a part of that class. Doug Heckeman was a part of that class. Ryan Blanche, Chad Kinney.
Yeah, it seems like throughout just time, you could probably go off and just rattle off names, class above, class behind, regardless, just of absolute dogs on the field.
For sure.
What were some of your biggest strengths as a player?
I played midfield my whole career, really until I got to college, and then moved back to the defensive line there. But for me in the midfield, it was all about recognizing the space on the field. Where can I get into spaces that people can play me the ball, that then I can be hopefully processing 1, 2, 3 passes ahead to know where that next ball needs to go to really start breaking through the lines of defense. And I just loved that. For me, I know at times Coach Van Dyne tried to move me forward at a few different times, and I did not like playing with my back to the goal. I did not understand spacing on that part of the field nearly as well. But I loved in that middle of the field just being that link between the defense and the forwards and finding the gaps in the field that the balls could be played to me that I could then move it and progress it to that next line. And that I feel like was my biggest strength.
Yeah, absolutely. What was your opinions and your feelings on playing for Coach Van Dyne?
Yeah, I love Coach Van Dyne. He was my 6th grade teacher and was one of my favorite teachers in elementary school. And then just getting to high school and having the privilege to be able to play for him, he was in my mind he was just a master motivator. He just knew how to get the most out of each player on the team. I think back to even senior year, we're getting ready to play St. Joe at regional, and I could sense the team for the first time that year was lacking a little bit of confidence. And so that week I made it my goal to just let the guys know, like we're going to kill them. We are that much better than them. I have no fear at all. And Coach Van Dyke did not say anything to me about telling me not to do that, but he made sure to let the team know that this was not going to be a walkover. This was not going to be a pushover by any means. But he had that way of knowing what each person needed. And I think we needed that balance there. We needed him saying that we have to be fully focused for this game. And I think he also knew that we needed me sending that message of we are better than this team and we are going to beat them. And I mean, we walked out and beat them 4-0 at regional and just dominated the game against a perennial power in the state of St. Joe.
Right. Describe some of your emotions when you were about to take the field and have Argus written across your chest. What were some of those emotions you had coming out of the locker room onto the field?
I am a very, very emotionless player. I
Gotcha.
very even keeled, and just for me, it was just this is the task at hand.
Yeah.
I want to stay in the present. I don't want to get too high. I don't want to get too low. And I know that doesn't work for everybody, and probably doesn't work for most people. But for me, it was just what is my job today, and that's what I am
Right.
focused on. And I'm not going to get too high or too low about the situation. I'm just going to go out there and do my very best, and
Mhm.
hopefully make my teammates proud, make my school proud.
Yeah. Just all business. Do not. There's
Yeah,
no smiling, no nothing. Just get out there, work straight to
that's
it.
right.
I love
Yep.
that.
I remember as the team would always take the field. I know now I think you probably go in numerical order typically, but
Yeah.
back when I played, we didn't. That wasn't even a thought process. I think that was kind of
Yeah.
a newer thing of that World Cup style interest, and I was always just the last person. Like
Hmm.
for me, it was just I'm going to be there last. I'm going to be that solid, steady force at the end, and
Yeah.
nothing's going to rattle me.
I love that. Um, Watching some old footage, you had some incredible free kicks throughout your career. Were you always the guy to like be taking those, and what made you so comfortable doing it?
Yeah, I really was. From even a young age, I was always the penalty kick taker. I was always our free kick taker. Um, I think it probably was more just to do with the amount of time I spent on the soccer field and working on
Hmm.
my skill and my shot, because that was something I was very comfortable with. It was something that I feel like even freshman year, Coach Van Dyne noticed that and started having me taking a lot of the free kicks as a freshman right
Yeah.
away on the varsity team, and it was something I felt confident with. Probably a nice thing that helped pad the stats at the end too, because I know as a midfielder you don't get as many scoring opportunities as you do
Right.
up front.
Right.
But when you get a step up for all the different free kicks, then you get a little extra chances in front of the net, and it was something that I felt good about. I liked being able to bend the ball around the wall. I liked being able to pick out my spot. I liked being able
Hmm.
to, and even from different angles on the field, I liked being able to whip balls in to find guys' heads, because we had really good, strong players coming in trying to score off of crosses as well. So
Hmm.
just a skill that I always kind of had and tried to use to the best of my ability each game.
Yeah. So what was it like to be part of that 97 team? What was the ups and downs of that tournament run? And I know this is kind of a loaded question, but and then kind of go through the Canterbury match if you can.
Yeah. Can I start back even further?
Yeah, yeah.
Like when I think about my career at my sophomore year, we had a really strong team.
Hmm.
Made it to regional finals. That year it was a 2-game regional, 1-game semi-state.
Hmm.
And then it flipped before my senior year to be a 1-game regional, 2-game semi-state.
Yeah,
And this is back in one class soccer, so we're going up against every team in the state at that
right.
point. But so my sophomore year, we were final 8, then
Hmm.
as being a regional final game. So
Yeah.
final 8 teams in the state, and we started four freshmen and 4 sophomore on that team.
Wow.
So coming back junior year, we had incredibly high hopes,
Hmm.
and I think we probably had a big head too, because we just did not have as successful a season. I mean, we were good. I mean, we probably went 12-4,
Hmm.
but for us, that wasn't nearly the standard of what it should have been. And then we lose sectional finals that year. Ryan Nifong had got hurt that year. Brent Johnson had been hurt. Scott Bailey got the red card the semifinal game. So we were out with him for the championship game. And I just remember losing that game. I sat on the sidelines of that field for I don't know how long. They turned the lights off. I was the last person to leave. I was just distraught.
Yeah.
And so in my mind right there, I'm like, I've got to work harder than I ever have before, because I know how good we can be my senior season.
Right.
I know the quality that we should be able to have, and we just didn't show it during my junior season. And so every day, all summer long, going into my senior year, I was out working on my game, working on my touches, just going out by myself, running. They used to have like a wooden wall that was set up by the field there that you could just play one touch with yourself. And I played so much one touch back and forth off that wall to just dial in my touch as well as I could. So then that senior year, I think, like I said, junior year, I think we had a big head on ourselves. Senior year, I think we were properly focused for what we need to do. And we just destroyed the competition all year long. I mean, I don't even know that we had too many close games. We played CMA about halfway through the season, and we're probably 7-0 at that time. And we beat them 5-0, 6-0. And they had just played Valpo the night before and lost 1-0. And Valpo was ranked number 1 at the time.
Wow.
And I remember their coach telling Coach Van Dyne, he's like, he was a voter in the state polls, and he's like, I will vote you guys number 1 in the state next poll. Because he's like, if we just played the number 1 team, you guys are so much better than them. And so we got ranked about halfway through the season and slowly just kind of climbed up the polls because, I mean, we didn't lose. We were 16-0 in the regular season. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know that we even had a game that was within a goal or two. Do you have the numbers there? I feel like you'd said during Scott's. I mean, I think we outscored the competition that year 100 something to 12.
Unbelievable number. I don't have it in front of me, but I can try to find it really fast. Because, it was some stupid number.
Yeah. And so I think we marched into postseason just highly confident. Had a tight game against CMA in the sectional. They really came back strong against us, and I think we beat them in overtime. 3-2 is going to be my guess as to what that score was. But then won sectional finals easily, beat St. Joe at regional easily, played Marion first game of semi-state, beat them 5-0, I think. And when I look back at our season, I know we had played Marion during the regular season, and it was during the fog game, as it came to know, because fog came rolling in within 10 minutes of the game, so dense that you couldn't even see. And we were already up 2-0, and their coach said, we're done. We're not playing anymore. And so they felt like they could come back. They felt like that was what kept them from beating us that night. But then we beat them 5-0 at semi-state. I remember Concord played semi-state that year. We'd beaten them 5 or 6-0 during the regular season. So we had played some really, really strong competition. Noblesville came up and played us that year, and we beat Noblesville at home. In one of our only really close games of the season, I think we maybe beat them 1-0. And so leading into that Canterbury game, I mean, we had full confidence in our own abilities. But we knew Canterbury was incredibly good. Had lots and lots of Division I talent on their team. A few guys that played at IU. And we played them well. I mean, our coach had said after the game that was the toughest opponent they had seen all season long. And they got a goal in the first half to go up 1-0. We had a goal called back that we had scored off a corner kick. I remember Scott retelling the events of that. I remember my dad we had just had a new pastor at our church, and he had invited him to come to this game for us. And my dad, being the good godly man that he was, decided to run down the sidelines to berate the sideline official because of the call. He had raised his flag saying the ball had gone out of bounds, and then put his flag back down. And so play continued, goal was scored, and then they go back and reverse it. And my dad was not thrilled about it, nor was anybody else on the sidelines. But so we go into that game down 1-0 at halftime. Early in the second half, I get a good chance outside the box, and I hit the crossbar. And ball pops back out. And within 2 minutes, they come down and score again. And making a 2-0 game is what it finished. But we had a couple chances. They were the better team. They were incredibly good, but I don't think we were that far behind them. And they went down to Indy the next weekend and won state championship pretty easily. So I know how close we were. But I also know that that season we don't have a single game that we can look back on and think that, man, I wish this would have happened better because
Yeah.
I really think we played our best soccer each and every game that year, which is what, after that junior season, we really wanted to have happen.
Hmm. And yeah, it's hard not to think that because I'm looking at this now. 21 wins, 15 of those were clean sheets, and gave up 9 goals that entire season. So yeah, it's hard to say you didn't play your best soccer that year as a team. That is incredible. Oh, speaking of which, yeah. What do you think? You kind of answered this, but in another term, what do you think made that 97 team so successful? Because yeah, here it is again, the 9 goals, 21-1 record, 15 clean sheets.
Yeah, I really think it goes back to just the camaraderie that we had with
Mm,
one another, playing together for so long. Um, like I said, I loved finding the spaces on the field in the midfield, and a lot of that
mm,
was because I knew where everyone else on that team was going to be. I just understood everybody's tendencies so well that I didn't even have to think when that ball was played to me. I knew where I was turning to. I knew where I was playing that next ball to.
mm.
Um, because we had just played so many games with each other over
Yeah.
the years. And
Mm,
I remember telling my college coach that when I had a meeting with him about halfway through the season, we were just talking through things. I'm like, the
mm.
hardest thing for me is just, I'm still just trying to figure everybody out. I mean, this is a new team. These are new guys. This is the most talented group of guys I've ever played with at that
Mm.
level, but the familiarity wasn't there. And
Yeah.
I felt like I wasn't able to play to the best of my abilities when I didn't know the guys as well as I did with the Argus team. And, and that's obviously something that takes a long time to develop. And it was the, the advantage we had being such a small school where you've got
Mm.
all the players on that team just playing together from the time you're 5, 6, 7 years old, whether it's just rec ball or recess or whatever it may be,
Yeah.
all the way up through middle school and high school. And yeah, I think that's really the number one thing that kind of set us apart in a lot of ways was just the way that we all understood one another and the way we played and our strengths, our weaknesses, where we're going to be on the field and how
Mm.
to play off one another.
Right. Um, if you had to pick one memory that was your favorite from playing at Argus, what would you have to pick out?
I was never a goal celebrator.
Okay.
Um, for me, it was just I just like to get together with my teammates and
Business as usual.
yeah,
Get
yeah.
back. Play's still going.
But I do remember a game against Westview that
Okay.
we had early in the season, and I had told the guys beforehand, if I score, we're all running to the corner flag and we're diving head
Yeah.
first, all
Right.
of us. And so lo and behold, I get a free kick early
Mm-hmm.
in the game and bury it in the back of the net, and I just turned and looked at the guys and I'm like, let's go. And we just all took off running to the corner flag and just I don't know if Brent came up from the back, but I think all 10 of us were diving
Oh
head first to
wow.
the corner flag together,
Oh
celebrating the
wow.
goal. And so that was a singular moment that didn't really mean a whole lot, but looking back on it was just a fun thing that was a little out of character for me
Hmm.
and just a cool moment.
And you probably won anyway. So I mean,
Well, of
it was
course.
it was all fine. Uh, getting a little bit into your college career here. Graduated, went on to play at Bethel. How was your college career? What was that like? And do you think Argus helped you prepare for that?
Yeah, certainly. I went to Bethel and I played two sports at Bethel. Actually, I played
Okay,
golf and soccer at
love
Bethel,
that.
and I ended up only playing 1 year of soccer because after my freshman year, the coaches asked me to choose because both sports had a fall and a spring season, and so I was splitting my time my freshman year, and
Gotcha.
it was tough. I started for both teams as a freshman, but
Hmm.
the line I've always kind of said is I was a good player for both teams, but if I'd have
Hmm.
been great, they wouldn't have asked me to choose between one or the other.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and so I ended up choosing to play golf
Hmm.
my last 3 years there, so I only played 1 year of soccer, which
Okay.
I don't regret by any means, but I certainly miss my years of playing soccer. And
Yeah.
And my dad coaching me early on, and then being at the high school with Coach Van Dyne, I mean, I think I was very well prepared to step in and play a lot of minutes as a freshman at Bethel, to be a key contributor to the team, to be somebody who really understood the game and had a good touch on the ball. And they slid me to a right back position. And so it was a new position, but just, I think a lot of that soccer intelligence that I'd gained through playing at Argos allowed me to move into a new position and still be able to do well there.
Yeah. After you were done playing, did you go on to coach anywhere?
Yeah, I coached one season out in Nebraska for a freshman team. And then I moved back and got a teaching job in Elkhart Community Schools and was an assistant coach for the Elkhart Central team in 2006. And we lost to Carmel in the state finals that year. And the head coach moved on to Holy Cross that year, and he really wanted me to take over the program. He was really impressed with what I had done with him that year, and they ended up hiring somebody else. And so I was kind of stuck without a coaching job. And had a friend get a hold of me about a coaching job at Northwood High School, coaching the girls program. And I had never coached girls in my life. Northwood did not have a strong soccer tradition, and I had come from Argos, Bethel, Elkhart, all places that had been really strong at soccer traditionally, but didn't really have any other options on the table at that point. So I ended up just kind of feeling like God was leading me in that direction at that point in my life. And so took that job and coached the girls team at Northwood for 12 years. And once I got married and started a family and we started having more kids, the time commitment was a little too great. So I actually transitioned to golf, and I've been the boys golf coach at Northwood now for 7 seasons. So this spring will be my 20th season coaching varsity sports at Northwood. But my oldest son's 8. My second son is 6. I've been coaching them with their rec teams the last several summers, but really looking forward to get back into some higher level travel ball with them as they get older, and really trying to do a lot of the same things that my dad did with me.
Absolutely. If there was one player throughout Argos soccer history from 63 to this year, who is one player that you would have loved to play with?
So I don't know if I ever saw him play in high school, because I was coaching my own team in the fall, so I didn't have a chance to really get to any Argos games at that time. But I've had a chance to play with him several times at the alumni games. I saw him a couple times in college, and I love the way that Damon Binkley moves on the field. I love how he positions himself, the runs he makes at a forward position, and I feel like he's a player that I would have been very successful playing with, and I would have loved linking up with him in a lot of the same ways that I did with Scott Bailey throughout my years. But just really appreciate Damon as a really quality guy, for one, but then two, just the way he plays the game and the way he moves on the field. I feel like I would have been a really good teammate with him.
Yeah. What do you think makes an Argos soccer player? Like, what traits do you think that you need to have to be successful with that?
Man, we come from a small farming area, so I think just the toughness, that hard work, that grit, that no matter what the conditions are going to be, no matter who the opponent is, that we're never going to back down. We're always going to give our best. We're always up for a challenge. And I think those are traits that I see just throughout the years of Argos players that I admire a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And to get a little deeper with you, this is the last question, so I'm not going to waste it. I'm not going to use any more of your time. But what does Argos soccer mean to you?
Yeah, it really has shaped a lot of things in my life. And I give my dad a ton of credit for that, because he, obviously being my father, played a huge role there. But just being able to grow up having him as my coach was just a way that I could learn not only the game, but so many things about life, and in just a different way than you would from just a father only. And then be able to take that into high school and making that a platform to to go to Bethel and to play there. And just seeing how Bethel has shaped my life. You think back on just the domino effect of all of these things that you don't realize at the moment, but played such a important role in getting me to where I am right now, and I'm very grateful.
Yeah. But yeah, Phil, this was great. One more time, thank you to the sponsors, Beamer's Drive-In and American Engineering. Thank you guys for your support. But yeah, Phil, this has been great. It was great talking to you. Thank you very much for joining. This was awesome.
Yeah, thank
Uh,
you for having me. I
yeah.
appreciate it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, thanks for tuning in to Inside Argus Soccer. We'll see you guys next time.